Netflix has been on a roll lately with all of the anime series they're taking and turning into live action. They screwed up Death Note, now they're moving on to Cowboy Bebop, The Last Airbender, and now they have decided to announce the cast for the live action One Piece series. And so many people are upset with the choices they've made with actors. It doesn't seem like they even really tried, and they gave us absolutely no other details. But before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting via memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So I wanted to start off with this Variety article that just kind of gives some of the basic details. It says One Piece Netflix live action series sets main cast, and a lot of people have been very skeptical when it comes to this series just because it seems like One Piece doesn't really need to be made into a live action. Then again, neither did something like Cowboy Bebop, but of course Netflix has gotten the green light for all of these series. It says the One Piece live action series at Netflix has cast 5 of its main roles. So Anake Godoy, Makenyu, Emily Rudd, Jacob Romero Gibson, and Taz Schuyler will all star in the series. Godoy will play Luffy, with Makenyu set to play Zoro. Rudd will play Nami, while Romero Gibson will play Usopp, and Schuyler will play Sanji, and all of the characters are members of the Straw Hat Pirates, the protagonists of the series. Now, they haven't really announced any other names for it, they haven't announced any other cast for the series so far, and of course, there's a lot of people that they do have to cast. But it says, based on the iconic Japanese manga of the same name, One Piece centers on Luffy, a young man who embarks on a journey to become king of the pirates and find the celebrated One Piece treasure. The show was ordered for 10 episodes at Netflix back in January, and in addition to the manga, 20 seasons of the One Piece anime series have been released to date, along with 14 animated films. Now, at this point in time, we don't really know much else about this One Piece live action so far. We don't know about the story, what they're going to be telling, what they're going to be changing. If we look at something like the Cowboy Bebop live action, they're changing a lot. They're changing outfits, characters, their personalities. We know that they're changing around the story and the way that they're telling the story. We don't know what this One Piece series is going to entail, but one can assume with Netflix's track record with live actions, it might not turn out that well. And of course, I don't want to go into this being negative. A lot of people have been really excited to hear about this One Piece live action. A lot of people are really looking forward to this series to see what it's going to be, if it's going to be really good. But there's a couple of problems that people have with it already. Now, Netflix decided to release these wanted posters of the characters with the actors' faces, and this is where the problems start. A giant problem here is the characters' backgrounds and the actors they chose to play them. Luffy is supposed to be Brazilian, and the actor they chose is Mexican. They could have at least tried to find an actor who would fit the character's background, and a lot of people are furious over this, but they didn't just mess up with Luffy. They also messed up with Nami. They picked an American actress for a character who's supposed to be Swedish, and to triple down on the mistakes, they made Sanji British when he's supposed to be French. There are so many people who are really upset about this, saying that Netflix basically half-assed the casting, and I think that most people would overlook these things if they were more notable, really outstanding actors, but they're not. These are actors who don't have much under their belts. McKenyu's been in a lot, but besides him, they've all had a few minor parts in projects, but that's it. And I'm perfectly fine with companies choosing lesser-known actors for roles 100%, but couldn't they have tried to pick people who would be more accurate to the characters they're playing? Now, of course, I am going to give it a chance. I want to see some trailers. I want to see images of these people in their outfits. I want to see some kind of details in depth about this series. But right now, a lot of people are rightfully very upset over this situation, over them choosing actors who don't even fit the characters' descriptions. I feel like a couple of the actors here do fit. I feel like Gibson looks like he could fit. Skylar looks like he could fit. I'm feeling a little bit on the edge right now about Inake Godoy as Luffy. I don't think that he looks awful for the part. I don't think that he looks completely different than the character he's supposed to be portraying. He seems very optimistic about it. He seems very excited about having the chance to play Luffy, which is really, really good. And Emily Rudd is really pretty, but I don't necessarily know if I see Nami in her. I'm definitely gonna give her a chance. She might be great. She's already talked about how she's super excited to play the character and she knows a lot about One Piece, which is good to hear initially. But right now, I'm feeling a little bit iffy about the cast in general. Now, after they announced the cast list, I only really knew one of these actors, which was McKenyu, and I wanted to show off a couple of their IMDb pages. McKenyu has been in quite a lot. He is a pretty well-known actor. He was in Pacific Rim Uprising. He was also in Brave and Overdrive. He's been in a ton of different stuff. He's pretty well-known. He's got a big social media following, so it's no surprise they chose someone like him for the role that he's playing. But then we start going over to the other actors, and they don't have a lot under their belts. Inake Godoy was in another Netflix original, Who Killed Sarah, but besides that, he's been side characters in other TV series, but that's it. He really hasn't done much acting over the years, and Emily Rudd has been in a few things as well, but again, she's not that well known either. She was in Fear Street Part 2, and she was also in the Romanoffs, but besides that, she, again, hasn't really been in much. A lot of upcoming stuff like Moonshot, Hunters, One Piece as it's already listed, but besides that, she's been in a lot of video shorts. But that's really it. I mean, it's not like these are well-known, really experienced actors that they chose for these parts. It's not like they went with the best names they could have gotten for this series. Now, I wanted to head on over to Netflix's Geeked account on Twitter because they did share a very short video of the cast announcements, and a lot of people are very upset, saying things like, oh, for fuck's sake. People are saying things like, are you kidding me? Luffy is Brazilian. Oda himself said that the character is from Brazil. Why are you going to pick a Mexican actor to play the character? There are a lot of good actors here to play the role. Come on, Netflix. Lots of likes on this. A lot of people are pointing out the fact that they didn't really choose actors who fit the characters they're supposed to be playing. Someone said at this point Netflix only makes live-action adaptations for like 3 executives who were nerds growing up and made terrible fan fictions, and it's so true because, again, a lot of these actors don't seem like they really fit the part of the characters they're supposed to be playing. I'm definitely not knocking it yet. We haven't seen them in the outfits. We haven't seen how they're gonna act. Maybe they'll do absolutely fantastic, and I try to give actors as many chances as I can, but it just seems so bizarre with the choices that they've made here already. People are saying things like, give this a try. We already saw how they handled Death Note and Cowboy Bebop, and it's true. I want to give them a try, and it's funny because it's like this comment is basically calling me out and calling out a lot of other people, but at the same time, we do see their track record. We've seen how terribly they did with Death Note. We see the disaster that Cowboy Bebop's turned out to be, and I don't want things to come out and have them be awful. I want entertainment to come out and for it to be amazing, but this already is not what fans wanted. Someone said they all seem pretty excited about the project and they seem like very nice people. Hopefully Netflix doesn't F it up, and if Oda has a lot of involvement then it should be fine. I have high hopes, and it's perfectly fine if people have high hopes for this right now. I hope that it comes out and I hope that it's amazing, but there are a lot of people here commenting things like, I'm just really not that impressed with the casting. I don't think that they did the best they could have. And there are a lot of people who are feeling very skeptical at this point in time. I personally feel like this is going to be another Cowboy Bebop where we see people get upset about the actor choices. Maybe we see an actor or member of the crew attack fans, and then they face even more backlash over the show. Maybe that won't happen, but a lot of people are really disappointed with the casting right now, and I'm sure we're going to hear a lot of talk about this over the next few weeks. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.